Hey, everyone, and welcome to the Mark Prater podcast, where our aim is to connect our global family of churches with our executive director. Mark, when I'm Generation X guy. When I was growing up as a kid, big deal was where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I don't know if you remember that. But
Yeah,
today, we're playing where in the world is our executive director? Mark, where are you?
yes, that's great. Well, you want to guess? No, I'm joking. I am in Hamburg, Germany. I just arrived here this afternoon, and the reason I'm here, I'm very excited about the reason I'm here. But the reason I'm here is to participate in the Eckstein Conference hosted by the Ark Church here in Hamburg, Germany, a church that has a wonderful relationship with Sovereign Grace. And there are going to be pastors from throughout Europe. Actually, they're going to be at this conference this week. I'm here. Jeff Purswell arrives tomorrow. So I'll be preaching. Jeff will be preaching, and the pastors from the Ark Church will be preaching. I just learned today. Christian picked me up at the airport and said that Michael, who we've been sending funds to from our family of churches in Ukraine for the war relief effort, he's actually going to be here with his wife this week. I can't wait to
Wonderful.
meet and talk with him face to face. So it's a annual conference that they do. And it's one that impacts pastors throughout Europe, not only those that are here live, but I believe they actually broadcast the conference as well. So I can't wait for this conference to begin and the good work that God is going to do. If you're listening to this podcast or reading it, please pray for this conference. And then after the conference is over, it actually ends Sunday, Jeff and I are going to lead the first Sovereign Grace Europe pastors meeting next Tuesday, actually. And we're really looking forward to that as well.
That's excellent. Well, what kind of things were you anticipating on talking about and doing at that meeting?
Yeah, this is the first meeting really officially of Sovereign Grace Churches Europe. And I was actually just in Bristol the last few days, Bristol, England, spent time with Matt Chapman and Pete Bowley and the folks of Grace Church. It's a church that's just doing so well. It's a joyful, grateful, humble group of people. They really get the gospel at Grace Church in Bristol. So Matt and Pete will be coming over from England. They're coming over on Monday. And we also have pastors, obviously, here from Germany that will be here. Ed O'Mara is coming from Italy. And then Kyle Huber's bringing 2 or 3 pastors from Belarus who actually are going to attend the Eckstein Conference and then also be at the first Sovereign Grace Europe pastors meeting. And something interesting happened while I was in Bristol. Actually, we met with some pastors in the area that have had interest for Sovereign Grace for some time. One of those pastors actually was at the pastors conference. I think it was 3 years ago, if I remember right. His name is Greg. He's in the Bristol area. And he actually we just got talking. We thought, hey, why don't you come to the Sovereign Grace Europe meeting on Tuesday? So he said, I'm coming. So
nice.
It was really exciting. Another pastor in Europe interested in being a part of Sovereign Grace. So what we're going to do basically is spend some time for those pastors to get to know one another. We want to obviously build relationally here in Europe. And then what we're going to do after that is just talk about what Sovereign Grace Europe should look like. And the Europeans need to obviously build Sovereign Grace Europe. So we want to just dream with them and pray with them and talk about the future. Should the Lord, tarry, and should the Lord give us grace to build a family of churches in Europe. So if you're listening or reading this podcast, please pray for that meeting as well.
Yeah, excellent. So encouraging to continue to see God working in Sovereign Grace globally. Also, I went to Pastors College at Matt Chapman and one of the pastors in Hamburg, Marcus Kniesel. So shout out to Marcus and Matt. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be here. I'll pass along a Ben Krebs greeting.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Mark, for the update. We'll be praying for you guys, for all involved at that conference, at the Eckstein Conference. And thank you all for reading or watching this podcast. We'll see you here next week, Lord willing. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching. If you have questions or comments, Mark would love to hear from you. For more videos like this, hit subscribe on YouTube or by email at markkprater.com.